Okay, I'm going to call the meeting to order. It is 6:00. Roll call. We have everyone here. Supervisor Garcia, Brookhouse, Franco, Morrissey. We have Dylan Hood and Sasha here. Supervisor Gray and Supervisor Carroll are excused. Do we have any citizens' comments this evening? I'm not seeing any citizens stepping up. Citizens' comments is closed. Do we have any supervisor comments? None. Chair comments. My comments are tomorrow. I'll be sending out an email with a revised schedule to everyone and the presenters. We had to shift some things around for this meeting and then in September and October. So look for that tomorrow and I will send it out so you know who the presenters are. Also, for the September meeting, I will be out of town, and so Vice Chair Franco will be heading up the meeting. So please let him know if you cannot attend. That's all I have. Approval of minutes from June 4th. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved. I'll second it.
Okay, motion by Supervisor Morrissey, second by Supervisor Franco. Do we have anybody here? All those in favor?
Aye.
I don't know, my memory is failing me. I'm sorry. So youth and governance, how do you vote? Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye or nay? Yeah. Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Any nays? Okay, motion passes. I'm blaming it on chemo brain, so. Okay, and then do we have someone here to present a resolution to approve the appointment of Christopher Hanna to serve on the Kenosha County Local Emergency Planning Committee? Anybody here for that? Nobody is here this evening. I know that there's a DARE outing going on. I would comment on this that Chris Hanna is in charge of local emergency planning, so I don't know why he is being appointed to serve on that committee. So that's an outstanding question, and I think I see him coming. Hi, we were just talking about you.
My apologies.
That's all right.
You're up.
Please have a seat. This item is a resolution to approve the appointment of Chris Hanna to serve on the Kenosha County Local Emergency Planning Committee. Would you like to present?
Yes. My name is Sergeant Chris Hanna, as everyone knows. I'm the Director of Emergency Management for Kenosha County. I have a resolution in front of the committee to reappoint me to the Local Emergency Planning Committee. Excuse me. This will be a 3-year term with it expiring in July of 2028. Do you have any questions?
Yes, Sergeant Hanna, why, if you're the sergeant of the local planning emergency, why do you need to be appointed to the committee?
That is a good question. I don't have an exact answer. I can tell you historically, the emergency management directors have always been appointed. Part of being the emergency management director and with the EPRA grant is that I sit on the local emergency planning committee and everyone is appointed by the county executive.
Okay, so would you show at this meeting regardless?
I would be
But
at that
you wouldn't
meeting.
be able to vote.
I would not be able to vote.
Okay,
I'm also appointed the caretaker of information for the LEPC. So anytime a public has information they'd like to obtain, it would go through my office.
okay, I just wanted to clarify that for everyone. Does
That's okay.
anybody else have any questions? Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Supervisor Brookhouse and
Second.
Supervisor Garcia? Youth and governance,
Aye.
how do you vote?
Aye.
Committee, how do you vote?
Aye.
Any nays? Passed unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chris. Sergeant Hanna. Next on the agenda is a resolution to repurpose joint services capital funds. So I'll turn that over to Director Barna.
My name is Barna Bench and I'm the budget director for the county. And I wrote the resolution as a result of a number of different circumstances that came together. So this is somewhat unusual from the standpoint that there were a couple of capital projects that came in well under budget. So there was material surplus capital funds. As a result of that coming to light, Josh can speak, we can talk about the reasons for that happening. But at the same time, there was a pressing need for placing the car washing station that Joint Services operates. Josh has told me that it's currently working, but they're having a manufacturer parts. It's old and it's hard to find parts and it's obsolete, literally on its last leg. So as a result of that, there were a couple of quotes obtained by a couple of vendors. But in the meantime, Josh spoke to our county purchasing director and determined that that should be a bid process for that. So as a result of the rules having to do with that type of capital equipment. So that'll be happening this month and should be finalized by the end of the month. But one of the steps obviously would be to make sure that we have appropriation and approval for the use of those capital funds. So if I could direct your attention to this spreadsheet that was part of the resolution. So this is a detailed spreadsheet that showed the different capital projects and capital equipment and how they came to be having surplus. So the first one is the ERP project that we shared with the city. I'm paying for it. I should explain that as well. So there are certain capital projects that Joint Services has that they could either put it in their budget directly and then we would split it, the costs with the city using the intergovernment agreement, but that would go through their operational budget. Another alternative method that we've done on larger capital projects is to work it out with the city that we would each individually budget those capital funds so that we can borrow those funds for those purposes. So ERP project, the first one in the column there is one of those projects that started even before COVID, 2019. We budgeted for that. Joint Services worked with the Government Financial Officers Association to analyze kind of the process, the needs that they have. And at that time, that $200,000 overall, actually it was more than that. That was just the county portion of it, but it was the total cost approximation and budget for that. So,
And that's their software systems and everything that
yes,
they use.
that's right. Thank you.
Okay.
So the ERP project, ERP is very important. It's the financial systems. I think they run their payroll off of that. I mean, you gotta have a top-notch ERP system. The county replaced theirs about 5 years ago as well.
So 200,000 was budgeted, but you only spent 185?
We only spent 100,185, correct?
So there's a 15,000 left over differential.
Nope, 200,000 is what we budgeted. The county spent 100,184.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
99,000.
You're right. We spent 99,815. I'm looking at it right.
Yeah.
So we had 100,000 left over. So the amounts that are highlighted or bolded, I should say, those are the surplus
Okay.
for each one of those projects.
Okay, thanks.
The second one was the data center hardware. The county budgeted 95,000 as a carryover in 2021 and 95,000 in the 2022 CIP budget for a budget of 185. Expenditures came in at 174, so there was a balance of 10,000. As I said, the two equipment type items that the county took upon their own CIP instead of splitting it with the city for the network switches and the CAD project. And as you can see, there were some smaller dollar amounts that were surplus, 9,000 to 2,000. Then most recently in 2025, I think even though the spreadsheet says 24, I think that should be 25. We had a project E911 refresh. The total project was, this would be the county's portion, 305. So we budgeted with the presumption that we did not know if we were going to get a grant from the state. So we budgeted the full amount as if we weren't going to get the grant. So not only did Joint Services get the grant, but then the project also came in much lower than expected. So it shows that the county expended $106,800 for that project. And Josh has told us that potentially we could be receiving up to 70,000 back as part of that. So that would be another 70,000 on top of the little tally sheet that I have to the far left there. So we have 320,000 plus another 70,000 potentially. So from that pot of money that the county has, we're proposing with this resolution to use up to $100,000 for this car washing station. That would be the county's portion of the estimate of what this overall project would be. The city also had some funds approved as part through their city council for their portion as well.
But the city pays 45% of the car wash.
Roughly 45, 55 is the only other thing that's part of this resolution. It also is requesting that in the future, so that it's understood, this is an unusual circumstance in which we have these large surplus dollars. So in the future, if we have some surplus funds, that the county board would allow the Joint Services Board to repurpose these. Anything left over, typically it's the 10 and the 9, the 2, so that the Joint Services Board could look at capital projects and things that are coming up and then repurpose that. And then that would be reported to this committee and then the finance committee.
This is already borrowed money.
Already borrowed money, correct? And it would be just repurposing it. With that, I'll take any questions.
I don't have any questions. I'll just make a comment that the city has passed its CIP amendments and to do this, so we put in 87,000 for the car wash. The quotes we have range from 165 to 170 something. As Barna said, it's going out for a thing. But I think it's a good idea for the small dollar amounts for Joint Services to be able to do them. We had a budget meeting today. There's potential that we'll be using some leftover CIP funds from the county and the city if it's approved as well for other IT projects.
Any questions? Do we have a motion?
Move to approve. Second.
Youth and Governance, how vote?
Aye.
Aye. Committee?
Aye.
Any nays? Motion passes unanimously. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Which one is signing?
Also coming out.
Unworking.
The unworking, so the difference between what some of would be the whereas that said unworking. So I replaced that language with Joint Services is in great need of replacing the current car washing station due to frequent outages and inability to source replacement parts.
Is that station located?
Just for the record, we have the
Building is speaking.
incorrect version of the resolution submitted before the committee. And so when we started, we had the correct version printed. And so that's what we're referencing. Okay, on to item number 9.
I'd make a motion to defer that to the September meeting.
Okay, there's a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
The reason that we are deferring the county sheriff's office update is because they have their dare outing tonight. And so, all operational staff is at this, event. They're having a great time. So I'll be sending out a schedule, an updated schedule to everyone on the presenters and what month they'll be presenting. With that said, youth and governance, how do you vote? Aye. Committee?
Aye.
Passes, any nays? Passes unanimously. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item number 10.
I'll move to adjourn that.
Okay,
I'll second it.
all those in favor?
Aye.
Great.